Stuart Fraser, Chairman of the City of London's Policy and Resources Committee. Stuart, good morning.
Good morning.
It was much debated whether the rich would flee London because of this top rate of tax. Well, it comes into effect today. Has there been any evidence that the wealthy have fled us for sunnier climes and cheaper climes, Stuart?
Well, there certainly has been some exodus, I will say that. Some people have decided that to be abroad at a lower tax haven is fine, but it's been relatively small, and I wouldn't expect any mass exodus. I think what's terribly important, whatever government comes in, actually makes it quite clear what they hope to do over, say, the first 5 years of their term. And if they can say then that no more tax increases at the top end, or hopefully we could get the top rate down within the time frame, I think people will accept that and decide to stay.
I mean, the top rate of tax, though, has been often criticised, Stuart. The IOD saying it affects entrepreneurial aspiration, business confidence, and foreign direct investment. I mean, that's a big factor, isn't it?
It's strange. Well, it's not strange, really, but people come to me who are thinking about moving from overseas into London or starting up here, and tax is one of the big issues for them. But it's not the only issue, and I would like to say is that London, and the city in particular, has a huge array of strengths behind it. And one may talk about Geneva or Zurich or somewhere, but these are little towns relative to London. So you've got to have a really good business case if you're going to move there. But if you're rich and retired, and you don't need to make any more money, so to speak, and you're just living off your income, then obviously a tax haven is going to be more attractive.
I mean, London still remains, with New York, in pole position as the world's leading financial centre, Stuart. But do you think politicians take our standing as this global centre for granted? What measures, what proposals do they need to put forward during this election to ensure that we remain as number one? Because, as you say, Asia, massive threat, Middle East, a massive threat.
Well, I think the first thing you've got to do is to say is that we welcome people who are here to make a lot of money and to pay a lot of tax. I mean, that's what we've got to make. There seems to be this separation between earning money and paying tax, and the rhetoric that's been coming out. So if you earn 40 million, that's very bad, but if you pay 20 million in tax of it, well, we'll forget about that. So we need to encourage people who can make money, but we do want to pay tax. I'm not supporting at all people that come to this country and make a fortune and don't pay any tax. So it is really getting back to basics and sense. We need to attract the best people from around the world. We have to pay them a lot of money to do their job, but we'll tax them as well. That you cannot get any money out of a banker if they're living in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's true. What about tax on banks, some sort of systemic risk tax on banks, Stuart? Do you think that could be supported by the city or not?
Well, I think if it's reasonably modest, but my concern is here that this would have to be a G20 approval. And frankly, I've just come back from India and talking to people over there, and I'm off to China shortly. There isn't really an appetite there because they don't see their banks were any part of the problem. So it's a Western problem. So you would have to agree it with the United States and the EU if there was anything going to be effective. We must not go on our own in this case.
Stuart, thanks very much indeed.